So over the last week, Counter-Strike devs have been busy attending, watching, and working on social media while the Austin Major is on. But also at the same time, Valve devs in general have been busy with a brand new setting within Steam, where it's seemingly a part of Steam's brand new beta, where it has a setting that can affect Counter-Strike 2, where it's essentially an advanced benchmark, an advanced net graph that we already have in the game, but it shows you a bunch more with optimization, performance, and that's just the beginning. Today's video, I want to deep dive into this brand new setting, how it affects your PC, what it does to your CS2 launcher, and how it's going to differ between players. Also want to discuss some new CS2 news, Counter-Strike's 26th birthday, alongside a bunch more. But before we go any further, I want to thank Skins Monkey for sponsoring today's video. Are you bored of your current Counter-Strike loadout and want to trade it out for something different? Skins Monkey has you covered. As a buying and trading marketplace, Skins Monkey offers amazing deals and the fastest way to trade out your old skins for something new. By using my code MANDO, you can get up to a free $5 by spending $100 or more, as well as you also get a 35% deposit bonus when topping up your balance. With Skins Monkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. If interested, the link will be at the top of the description down below. Now, firstly for today's video is the new benchmark and how to get it. This is a part of a new Steam update, so you're gonna have to go to the beta. How you do that is you're gonna go to Interface, select Steam Beta, the client beta participation, and then head on over to the in-game tab within the settings on Steam where it says Show Performance Monitor. You're gonna want to turn that off. Now, this affects all Steam games, not just Counter-Strike, but today we're gonna be mainly going in on Counter-Strike. Now, the first tab is gonna ask you where you want it on your screen, top left, bottom right, so on and so forth. And then it's gonna ask you the performance detail level. The first one is simple, it's just the FPS single value, where it just shows you your frames. The second one is FPS detail and graph, so it's a little bit more advanced than what we already have in CS2, but it's also cool that we have that now. And then where things get a little bit interesting is we have the FPS detail, but we also have our CPU and GPU utilization. And then lastly, we have FPS detail and graph, CPU, GPU, and RAM details. So instead of downloading a third-party software to use on Steam within your games to benchmark said game, benchmark your FPS, well, now you can do it just within Steam for any game, including CS2. Now, I will say when it comes to Valve, they really seem to be on their game for updates, that being with CS2 as of recently, but not to mention Steam. Now, after testing out all these settings myself, I began to wonder if these settings can actually hurt players more than they actually do something for them. Yes, it's cool to see your FPS, your RAM usage within CS2, but it made me wonder if this all being on your screen can affect your performance, that being FPS within CS2, which led to me doing some quick tests. Now, after doing all these tests, I came to the conclusion that yeah, having everything on your screen can affect performance, and depending on the player, depending on their PC, it could do a lot more damage than it does any good. Now, the setting where it shows you your FPS detail, graph, CPU, GPU, and RAM details, when I was testing, I experienced an average of an FPS loss of 15 frames a second when having everything on my screen while playing the game, not to mention also recording. Now, for the majority of players within CS2, I think most players are better off just using the in-game counter with their net graph, or just the single value FPS within Steam for CS. Unless you're really trying to benchmark something, see a major difference, or you have a really high-end PC, I would personally not run this whatsoever, not to mention it's also somewhat distracting. Other players across social media have reported that they've lost upwards 20% or more frames a second, which that's pretty nuts. Now, the reasoning for this hurting your performance, and it obviously differing between computers and people's platforms, is the quickest and easiest answer is Steam. This update is still in beta. This needs more work, but it also adds a lot more process to your PC. Like we mentioned earlier, this setting is good for benchmarking, as I think it was mainly made for that. Now, as it stands for CS2 getting more optimized in the future, I do think that will happen, but we also have to remember that CS2 is still in the infant stages, but at the same time, backsliding after updates is now normal. That's the new norm. And what I mean by that is when we have a really good update, a lot of content gets added. What's not typically mentioned in the blog post is that FPS can sometimes drop upwards of 5 to 10%. At least that's some of the highest we've ever seen within CS2 over the last couple of years. But eventually, I do think things are going to even out. Let me know what you guys think and how is your experience with FPS with inside CS2. And of course, lastly for today's video is some brand new Counter-Strike 2 news. As of today, it is Counter-Strike's 26th birthday, and the CS2 devs seem to have sent out a tweet, that being for a party at the Austin Major, as well as apparently Blast TV, the hosts of the Austin Major, apparently have some interesting events planned for the end of the event. Now, players have speculated that this could be some sort of cash reveal, just like we saw in 2018 with the remaster in CSGO. Others think it could be a birthday message to the fans, and others even thought Gaben could arrive himself, making an appearance for the first time in Counter-Strike Major history. But until we really see anything, it's really hard to say what we're going to find. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.